the Heritage Foundation one of the biggest players in the Christian nationalist shadow network that's planning to undermine our democracy? Well, in less than 2 years, they're basically planning on taking over the entire government. They've recently created a 920-page book called Mandate for Leadership, The Conservative Promise. That's basically a step-by-step guide of what they want to implement if they can get a handmaid in the Oval Office in the next election. They're calling their plan Project 2025. If you remember Project Blitz, it's a little bit like that, but way bigger. The crazy part is that this Mandate for Leadership thing isn't even new. It has a lot of terrifying similarities to the secret memo that future Supreme Court Justice Lewis Powell wrote to the Chamber of Commerce almost 50 years ago in 1971. And this is a must-read, by the way, if you want to know more about that. It's just that when they put it all out there in writing and you see everything that they want to do in one place, it's alarming. It's the Koch brothers' American dream come true. The parts that aren't explicitly white supremacist, Christian nationalist, anti-LGBTQ, American capitalist propaganda are all just dog whistles for those things anyways. They base it around 4 pillars, which are: restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children, dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Like I said, dog whistles, right? Defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. And secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what our Constitution calls the blessings of liberty. There's honestly so much in here that the destruction of the wall between separation of church and state just kind of meshes with everything else. But they're literally planning on destroying that separation using the mirage of religious freedom when it's actually just Christian supremacy for cis, straight, white, able-bodied, Christian, conservative, upper-class men. Instead of true religious freedom, this is what the mandate wants to use religious freedom for. Religious freedom for adoption and foster care agencies to refuse to place children in families that are either not Christian or not a straight married couple. Religious freedom for employers to discriminate against workers regardless of non-discrimination laws as long as it's part of their personal religion. Religious freedom of parents to use state money to send their kids to private religious schools. But then at the same time, the religious freedom of taxpayers to not have to fund abortion or travel expenses for those seeking abortions, even though that's a medically necessary expense. Religious freedom of employers and universities to deny access to workers and students to get contraception. Religious freedom of houses of worship to ignore public safety measures during a global pandemic and hold large in-person gatherings. Religious freedom of public colleges and universities to ignore anti-discrimination and other laws that conflict with their religious beliefs. And obviously a lot more. Like, they actually also wanted to impose a congressionally recognized Sabbath day. But none of this is what religious freedom actually does. And by the way, AU has litigated almost all of these issues in court, and we've almost always won. So if you're scared of Project 2025, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, you should be supporting Americans United. We've been in this fight for over 75 years, and we need your help now more than ever.